Alright guys, welcome back, and this is tutorial number 5, part 3, and we're going to go ahead and finish building our credit script. So, we've now got our information all figured out as far as how it's going to be pulled in, etc. And now what we need to do is we need to set up a piece of info that says at what rate it transfers across the screen, so that we know how much to add to the X or whatever each frame update. So I'm going to actually put this info up inside of our credit transition info. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to add a new method here, and it is going to figure out this information for us, and so we can just ask it and not do the calculation down there in the credit script itself. So, and we're going to go ahead and just call this trans X, or let's do it back trans X, and then this is going to tell us at what rate that is going to transfer across the screen, and then of course same thing for Y. Be nice if I could spell. And then we need it for title, and let's see, title trans X and dev title trans Y, and name trans X and name trans Y. Alright, so now we've got all of that, and all this is basically going to do is just take like your starting X and take it. So we're going to take our starting X, and then we're going to minus our target X. Now actually it needs to be the other way. It needs to be our target X. Wow, my mouse is bouncing all over the place. We're going to take our target X, and we're going to minus our back.starting X, and then we are going to take that value and we are going to divide it by our time. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and let this be a we're going to do a to float, which means that it's going to return a partial value. By doing this, you can get 1.1 pixels across the screen. It just means that it will keep track of that float, and in which case it'll actually mean that we keep a little bit better track of actually how far it's moved. And that way there you don't also have other situations arise where you overshoot it or whatever else, because you just said keep on going until that number of frames is passed or whatever else. Actually we probably should add also a wait on here, as in once it gets there, how long to have it wait there before it actually jumps to the next one. So we're just going to go ahead and actually we're going to change that to 60, and the other the wait for 60 as well. So it will transition for 60 frames, and then it will wait for 60 frames before it actually proceeds. Alright, so now we've got our information, and I put it up in there. Let's see, did I finish it for all of them? I did not. Okay, so we've got that one. So let's just go ahead, we're going to copy that, paste, 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 and one last paste. Alright, so again, you could probably redirect those all to a single method, because it's obvious they're all doing exactly the same thing, just with a different variable. So it's up to you if you guys want to go back and do that. So we're going to do this here, and this is going to be title, and this is also title, and you know what, that is X, and this is Y. Alright, and then our name, tx, and name, y, and y, name. Alright. Okay, so we've got all of that happening now. So now we're going to go ahead and copy that, so use down here. And so we're only going to get it once. Trans. And that is info dot. Alright, so we don't actually have to store that information off. We could let it do the calculation each time. I mean, technically speaking, we're dealing with enough small stuff that it shouldn't matter, so I'm not going to actually store that. Technically speaking, I probably should, because it means less overhead for the CPU to constantly be doing the math, but it's a good thing computers are really good at math, right? So now we need to go ahead and set our timer, and that's going to be equal to 60, and our wait is going to also be equal to 60. So we didn't specify wait up here, so we're just going to set that real quick. So if the timer is 0 and wait is equal to 0. In other words, both of them have finished elapsing. Okay? So we've got if timer is greater than 0. Alright, so at this point here we're now going to go ahead and start our transition. So we're going to go ahead and say picture.x plus equals, and let's see, all of our references to info underneath here all need to be changed to have the @ on them, because we changed that. And this is going to be info dot, what was it, back trans x. And then we're going to go ahead and do picture dot y, back trans y, and then we're going to do title dot x equals, I'm sorry, plus equals info dot back, or I'm sorry, title trans x, and we're going to copy that, do y, and name dot x equal plus equals info dot name trans x, and that's y and y. Alright, so we've got all the information there, and then we're going to go ahead and say timer minus equals 1. And that actually needs to have an @ sign on it, so we're keeping track of it. Alright, and then we've got also a if wait greater than 6 or greater than 0, and wait minus equals 1. And alright, so we've got all of that happening in our update picture info, and then here we're going to have a if input.trigger input C. Then under that case we will go ahead and break the scene and immediately jump out to our title. So our title was scene title, and so to call it we actually need to call scene manager dot, and I believe it is open. Let's see, scene is go to, okay, scene.go to, not call, because we don't want it to ever return to the transition. And so we're going to come back down here and say scene manager dot, I don't think it had an underscore in it, go to, and this is going to be scene title. In which case, then it goes through the abort routine and immediately exits the scene. So, I think we've got everything in here now, and we should be good to go ahead and try it out. So, let's go ahead and see what happens. Alright, unable to find file. Oh, that's right, because we put it in a subfolder, didn't we? We put it in a credit folder, was it? Let's see, what was that folder? Alright, it was credit. So we need to add that to the name when we fetch it. Alright, so let's see, picture list. Oh, here we are right there. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and add on a credit and backslash plus. Alright, let's go ahead and try that one more time. Alright, kind of freaky there, isn't it? Oh, you know what? We are not setting the index to a new index. That's why it just keeps on starting back over. But it's good to see that it's actually doing what we expected it to. Let's go ahead now and let's see, did we set a wait time up here in this as well? We set the default wait to 60 and we never set it anywhere else, so that should be fine. Let's go ahead, come down here to the bottom, and then we just put if wait is equal to 0, which is the only time this will ever be a situation, in which case, you know what, actually there is a slightly different way I want to do this, and that is going to be here in the update picture info. And what we're going to do is we're going to set the current index to -1, and then what we're going to do is just add the current index to it. So in this case, we're just going to say current index, oops, I thought I copied it, plus equals 1, or plus plus, that works too, or plus equal 1, whatever. Alright, let's go ahead and try that out. Failed to create bitmap on which one? Line 138. And why is that? Oh, I know why. It's because the supplied text was nothing. Remember, we didn't set any text for it. So let's come up here and let's see, what was our title text for number 3? It was nothing. Dot title text equals larg, red and blue guys, you love it, and equals I don't know, sure, already using it everywhere else anyways, right? And let's go ahead and set the info.time, so this is the transition time. Let's go ahead and set that to let's set it to 300, and then we'll set our wait to, let's do 240, so about 6 seconds. Okay, scroll back down here, and we'll play that one more. 1 second, 1 second. Oh, that actually went a lot faster than I expected it to. But, oops. Oh, you know why it did that? I know why. On the timer, we need to return so that it doesn't do the wait as well. If you return, then it doesn't go to the next step. So it just waits till it gets to 0, and then it'll stop processing that, stop returning, in which case then it will go down here. Alright, so, what was that last error message we got again? I don't remember what it was. Let's try it again here. Okay, wait, and cannot convert nil to string. And that happens on this, which is what we need to do is we need to put a if. So if our current index is greater than our picture list dot size, or actually if it is equal to it, then we will do our abort routine, in which case it just says scene go to title. Okay, let's go ahead and try that out. Alright, still got cannot convert string to nil. Okay, so let's see, what would our index have been? Our index, let's see. We saw all four. 0, 1, 2, 3. So our index would be -1. So it starts out at 0, 1, 2, 3, and then it should be equal to, oh, you know what? It is -1. In that case, it will stop. And there you have it. So we've gone through, we've displayed all of that information. If you want to play some music, etc. on that, all you have to do is just specify what music you want to play. The audio system is pretty easy to work with. Just come up here, and it's probably not going to be this one. Let's see. Let's look at how the... Now let's just check our time here real quick. Alright, we've still got a couple of minutes. So let's come in here. We're going to look at the map and how it plays audio files. Let's see, it's not map, I want game. Well, is it map? Let's see, it doesn't like audio. You know what? Actually, it's game system. That's where all of that's done. Or at least it has been in the past, so I'm assuming that's probably where it will remain. Game system. Do audio. No. SE. No sound effect item inside of here, huh? Alright, so this returns the battle and ME. You know what? It's probably going to actually do this just like we did in RPG Maker Rmvxace. I'm sorry, VX. And to do that, you had to initialize the audio file. So let's see. Start music. Okay. And we'll go ahead and put that right here. Don't forget to put an end on it. And then of course here we're going to go ahead and say like audio file equals PG audio file.new, and then you usually just pass in the information as far as what file name you want it to display or play, and then you just say audio file dot play. At least that's how you did it in VX. So let's go ahead and look up a file name to play. It should take anything here out of the generic stuff. Let's just use Battle 1 as an example. And then let's see if it likes that or not. Otherwise I'm going to have to pull out the help, and that'll take a little bit. So, and let's see, undefined method play for audio file. Let's try audio.play and audio file. Like that. Alright, still doesn't like that. Let's see if there's anything else I can think of immediately. Well, I'll have to get back to you guys on that one. I don't remember what it is right offhand, and I gotta look it up, and we are almost out of time, so we'll come back to that later. Let's actually just jump to play system sound. Not found any. Oh, we don't. Undo case. And that is here in the sound module. It says sounds.play, which again implies that you just do a play method on the audio file. So I'm not sure right offhand. I don't know. Anyways, I'll get back to you guys on that one. In the meantime, enjoy. You should have enough to at least work with and get your own stuff going. But that will do it for now. I think we'll just try that and see if I just misspelled something earlier. I didn't. Okay, so what we're going to do is just comment out this line for right now and then act like it never happened. Haha, see, watch. Alright, and then press enter to see if you skip it immediately, and it does. Okay, well that's it for our tutorial today, and hopefully you guys have been able to learn some information. I didn't end up using viewports as much as I was expecting to, but at the same time you could see that the information was ahead of the other and not the opposite. So if you wanted to, you could just reverse these and see the different effects. You could put -1, and of course then everything, all your text is going to appear behind your backgrounds, and so you won't see any of your text. And so that is just a quick example of viewports. So anyways, I think that is it for today, and we will catch you guys later. See ya.